Miyamoto Musashi, The Way of the Warrior. Act 1. The Beginning of the Blade. Who are you when no one is watching? Can you master yourself the way a warrior masters his blade? This is the story of Miyamoto Musashi, a man who lived like a storm and died like a legend. Not just Japan's greatest swordsman, but a symbol of discipline, focus, and living with purpose. Miyamoto Musashi was born in 1584 in Japan, during a time of war and chaos. The country was full of samurai clans fighting for power. Musashi was born into this storm. He was raised by his uncle after losing his father early, and from a young age, he was taught swordsmanship, reading, and strategy. But Musashi wasn't like other boys. He was wild, intense, and curious. He didn't want comfort, he wanted challenge. At the age of 13, he fought his first duel. Yes, 13. He killed a grown man. That was the beginning of his path, a path soaked in sweat, strategy, and steel. Act 2. The Invincible Duelist. Most people fight once and walk away. Musashi lived by the sword. He fought over 60 duels and never lost. That's not luck. That's discipline, preparation, and mastery. He didn't just fight with strength. He fought with strategy. He studied his enemies. He studied nature. He studied himself. His most famous duel was at the age of 29 against Sasaki Kojiro, a swordsman known for his speed and skill. They fought on a remote island. Musashi arrived late on purpose, carved a wooden sword from a boat oar, and defeated Kojiro in a single strike. Why did he win? Because he didn't let emotions control him. Because he saw the fight before it began. Because he had mastered the art of patience and timing. Act 3. The Way of Discipline. Musashi didn't fight just to win. He fought to grow. He believed in the way, what the Japanese call do. It wasn't about violence. It was about mastering your mind, your movement, and your meaning. These were some of his core beliefs. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Stay humble. Control your emotions. Fear, anger, ego. These are enemies that live inside. Train every day, even when tired. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. Accept death fully so you can live freely. True freedom begins when fear ends. This was Musashi's mental battlefield, the fight inside himself. Act 4. The 5 Rings of Mastery. As his battles faded, his wisdom grew. Near the end of his life, Musashi wrote a book, Go Rin no Sho, the Book of 5 Rings. This book wasn't just for fighters. It was for anyone who wanted to live with strategy, focus, and power. The book was split into 5 elements. Earth, the basics, building your foundation, knowing your tools. Water, adaptability, flow like water, adjust to all situations. Fire, conflict, read your opponent, know when to strike, when to wait. Wind, perspective, study other styles, other minds, learn from everyone. Void, the unknown, the formless. This is spiritual. It's about letting go. The Book of 5 Rings became a guide, not just for warriors, but for artists, leaders, and thinkers. Its lessons are eternal. Act 5. The Discipline of a Master. Musashi chose hardship over comfort. He lived in caves, slept on straw mats, ate simple food. He didn't care about fame or luxury. He cared about mastery. He created his own sword style, Niten Ichi Ryu, meaning 2 heavens as one. A method of fighting with 2 swords at the same time, one in each hand. It was wild. It was powerful. It was Musashi. He trained daily, practiced strokes until his muscles burned, sometimes with both hands, sometimes in silence, always with focus. He didn't just train his body, he forged his spirit. Act 6. The Artist Behind the Sword. There was another side to Musashi. He wasn't just a warrior. He was a philosopher, painter, calligrapher, and poet. He believed that if you want to master one thing, you must understand everything. He painted birds, dragons, monks, and nature. Each brushstroke done with the same precision as his sword. Art made him calm. Art gave him balance. He once said, "The purpose of today's training is to defeat yesterday's understanding." That was his path, always learning, always evolving. Act 7, the final battle with himself. In his final years, Musashi no longer fought with others. He fought within. He moved into a quiet cave called Reigando. There, he meditated, reflected, and wrote. He observed the wind, the trees, the stillness of life. At age 61, Musashi died peacefully, in a seated posture like a monk. He had mastered not just the sword, but himself. He left behind no riches, no castle, just a legacy, a book, and a path for others to walk. Act 8, Lessons from Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi wasn't just a swordsman. He was a living philosophy. Here's what he teaches us. Live with purpose. Don't drift. Choose your path. Master something deeply. One focus. Endless growth. Train daily. Discipline beats mood every time. Be okay walking alone. Truth is not always crowded. Stay calm in chaos. The world is loud. Be still inside. Miyamoto Musashi didn't just master the sword, he mastered himself. He fought with skill. He lived with discipline. And he left behind a path for all of us, not to fight others, but to fight the weakness inside ourselves. You may never hold a blade, but if you can master your mind, your habits, your reactions, then you too walk the way of Musashi. This is not just the way of the warrior, it's the way of life.